Purchase your tracks today.
We was liking it young, like physically being able to, I like legit played for my first time on a team when we lived in Arizona at the school called JWJ Academy.
How old were you?
Prep school. I was probably like 11, I think, or 12.
What grade is
I
that?
was 7th grade, Rodney was 8th. And then Rodney played for sure. Rodney and his friends played. I used to go with them and play. Mind you, like I said, I wasn't that good at the time. And that was when Rodney was playing a lot more than I was playing. So him and the guys that we used to hang with this older dude that was like 17, but it was like it was like a lot of else that we used to always play. But I played on the B team there. No, it was like the 7th grade team. They didn't have a B team. They had like the 8th grade team. They had a 7th grade team. I played the 7th grade team. And at the time, statistically, I was probably one of my better years, but at the time, it was the tall kid under the basket. You turn around, you put everything back up.
Okay.
I wasn't dribbling or nothing at the time. I was terrible, like for real terrible. I was a movie watcher, video gamer. I was drawing, and then we were trying to skateboard because Rocket Power was like the shit at the time.
Every cassette tape from the 90s with
So when
Dr. J.
I got vibed on the basketball, it was
Yeah.
8th grade. Out here, when we moved back, in the 8th grade, I met this kid named Randy LaKimba when I was at King Middle School. Mm-hmm. And Randy was the realest fucking 8th grader in the state of Texas, period. Like, it'll make the news now. The kids in the 8th grade now, they'll be on hoop mixtape. If there's kids that can dunk in the 8th grade or 7th grade now, Randy was doing that shit when I was in the 8th grade.
Yeah,
like,
and that was unheard of.
Man, we was losing. We losing to Poe Middle School. I'm talking about, I played this dude every fucking day in 8th period. And at the park area of the day, at DeFalls Park, or at we used to be at the Carver Library Park, where it's like a church now, but it used to be a court outside. I saw new shit out of him literally every fucking day.
And where was he getting this from?
Shit, Randy put me on this tape called NBA Superstars, and after that, it was like cassette taping. So after that, I started collecting cassette tapes, and I would take them back to like, yo, look at this one, and we'd watch shit. But watching like that first one, I seen so much shit. But Randy was like a Kobe head. Randy had like the little fro. Randy kind of looked like him for like a cool minute. Randy did kind of look like him, but Randy was like the 8th grade guy that like, we was down by like probably 30 at Poe Middle School. Randy caught the ball on a break, got a rebound, because he was like my size, like a little bit smaller. I was about 6'2" at the time. Randy like 6 foot, 6'1". Randy catch the ball, cross 3 dudes up, take off and dunk the last dude on their float. And they gym, we at Poe Middle School, just like off of New Braunfels. They gym go crazy, rush the floor. And this wasn't even at our school, and we down.
All right.
Randy was nice, but playing him a lot one-on-one was like, I mean, I guess when your best friend is the fucking best kid in the city, I mean, shit, you're going to eventually get it down.
Yeah.
And so, it just, me and Randy go to the park every day, play every day.
Every day.
Yeah, we was playing all the time. We was always did, like the YMCA. We did at the YMCA or we was at the park. Like we was playing, that's it. That's all we used to do.
And y'all was watching tapes.
Yeah, we used to watch these tapes, man. I still got a lot of them on DVD. I got a lot of them.
And what was on these tapes?
I got them on cassette and I got them on DVD now. They called, they're these like NBA classic tapes. Yeah. So it's Michael Jordan, Come Fly With Me, Airtime, Michael Jordan Above and Beyond, Michael Jordan's Playground, Magic Johnson Always Showtime. Yeah. They like bio like stories on guys, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Some of them on like Chicago Bulls season 91, 92.
And what was
NBA
you watching?
NBA Superstars, it's just like highlight tapes. They highlight tapes. That's all it is. The
so
NBA Superstars were like highlighted music video tapes.
And you were just mimicking their moves.
That's what we would do. We'd watch it and then go to the park and be like doing the shit. But then like when we played, like we'd be doing that shit. We used to do little dumb shit. It was just basketball. We were just loving it at the time. That's all. And trying to, we hadn't like really worked out, but we just watched some shit and we go to the park and like copy the shit all day. And then like we play one-on-ones and try to get that shit down. Pick up habits like one of the worst habits I got now is I got this thing where I like flick the ball back. There's some shit you see Jordan do, so we would be doing the shit. I be doing that shit now. Mm-hmm. One of my like biggest moves, like things I learned how to do, like how to use my hands. I got this pump fake I do where I grip the ball and like pump fake like I'm shooting. That's some shit I seen Jordan do. Mm-hmm. It's like this real famous highlight. You can look it up. Mm-hmm. They playing, I think, the Hawks, and he pump fake somebody like that and cut through and he dunked there with Bailey.
I remember that.
That's like the clip. That's why I got that shit from. I got that habit real bad. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of that shit moves from watching He Got Game 1,010 times. You just pick up stuff just watching it like, oh, I'm gonna start doing that, and that's what it was.
Right.
But
and you just put it all together.
try to put it all together. Yeah.
At
So
what point did you start getting
want to be like serious?
well, like professional help, like mentor, guided shit?
We was
like,
growing up, and that's I think, and that's not even just me, but speaking for like generation of basketball players. That training shit, getting help on that shit, that's new shit. That's some new shit now that everybody doing. But when we was growing up, it was you was at the park all day. We was going to different parks in different neighborhoods, playing as much as possible, or Spurs League. Like everybody did like Spurs League or like SA Night Hoops, like that shit. But as far as like how big AAU and shit, AAU was coming out, not coming out, but it was like big when I was in high school. I was hearing about it, but like as far as like growing up playing, I didn't play on the AAU team until like the summer of my sophomore year of high school. The San Antonio Bulls with this dude named Coach Powell, he just like to fucking scream for no reason.
Okay.
But again, Randy, Dominique Williams, a lot of these guys on my high school team, they used to play with this team called, what was the name of that team? The Crusaders. That was the fucking team to beat. Them, Team Texas, the Rohawks that play out of ACC. You had to be somebody to play on the Rohawks team. The Rohawks was all nice. These teams I wasn't playing on yet. I was real. I was a project. I was like molded potential at the time. I wasn't all the way there yet. But I was still, I was serious about it. I wanted to play. I was nice. I was decent.
Okay.
The turnaround came probably after college. I was decent enough. I got recruited to the small 4-year Bethel College.
So you was good enough to make it to college. But you wasn't per se a superstar.
I wasn't saying like niggas wasn't knocking my door down. I didn't have no shoebox full of no letters or nothing. No.
Yeah.
But I got to BC. I had a good game one night at Alamo Stadium. Had a good game one night. This guy named Ray Garcia came and hollered at me, and he was going to school at Bethel College. And Bethel College really get a lot of guys from San Antonio. Being honest, they do. They get a few guys from San Antonio.
H-Town tomorrow?
But it's a NAIA school, 4-year NAIA school, but it's Division I NAIA.
Okay.
So I go there,
H-Town?
and it was rough. It was real rough. It was
Well,
fucked up your experience.
So when you say rough, what was the difference? Like, what happened
Majority
there?
white, majority white school period. Basketball team had 3 blacks on it. Me, this guy named Thomas Buckner, who was from here, went to Wagner, and my roommate John Watson, who went to Taft High School. And then we got a guy named Tyree Prince that he plays out here in the city too. He's from here, but he went to Steele. Playing time was rough. Like, I did okay. I got playing time. I was the guy, like, I came in, I could jump, I was a 5-man. I was playing JV games, which is with all the freshmen and sophomores, and I was playing the varsity games. And then, but the season was like losing season. Like, we probably won like 3 or 4 games, and it just was one of those things where, like, it was just like ruining my experience. I had these, like I said, watching all these tapes and these movies, like I wanted to play basketball. And it was just like, damn, like, this is what it is. Like, you lose a game by 30 and 20 points, and then they come to the locker room joking and shit. I got in trouble for going off, like, after, like, the first game, snapped, went off, and it just, they give you this whole speech about it's not your place when you're a freshman, that shit. So,
look,
sophomore year, sit out, and the coach was like, well, can you still come to the runs when we have, recruits or whatever, so guys want to come in, and, I'm like, cool, because, like I said, I wasn't super recruited, so I didn't know much about basketball, how to get nowhere playing. And so that second year, that was when I really kind of started really getting in the gym.
Yeah, I talked to T the other day.
Shooting.
T said let him know.
I really started flourishing athletically and jumping and shit, really. I mean, I could jump and dunk and shit when I left here, but my first time doing a workout, we had a guy on the team that he was trying to become what was he majoring in? He was majoring in like training or some shit, and he made like a jump program. He was trying to see how that shit worked. He thought I could jump already, like, man, you're a big killer, you do this. And we did it, and so, I think that's where a lot of the jumping started coming from. Then I started working on different dunks. That was when I started practicing dunks. As opposed to just dunking in games, I started practicing doing different dunks, like lobbing to myself, women, and shit like that. And I got videos of that shit on YouTube still. With this like terrible camera phone I had at the time, we was making it work. So after
Kind of like what we doing right now, making it work.
So after that summer, we had a guy come in the school year. He was like, yo, like, I don't know if you know, but like, you're the only athlete here. Like, you should probably leave. And I told him the situation while I was sitting out. He was like, well, you should go to the JUCO I went to. He's like, from a JUCO, you can get a better deal. Like, go to a bigger school from a JUCO. And I'm not knowing shit. So he's like, well, they got this jamboree. I'll put you in touch with the coach. Get in touch with the coach. They have a jamboree at the end of the year, like a tournament. They put teams in, guys in, or whatever. That's how they kind of recruit guys and this and that. I go down there, and I played. And then the coach was like, oh, yeah, for sure. Like, you can come. Like, just do you know anybody else? They called me with that in the summertime before I'm getting ready to go back up there. Like, hey, you know anybody else that's good as you, or you know that we can get down and come down? And I told him, shit, I know a perfect guy. The guy I played in 8th grade with, Randy, played 8th grade all through high school with him.
Yeah.
And without having to see him, Randy went with me. We went down there, and I went from like 18, 20 a night at Bethel College to like number 2 player in the conference, number like 3 in rebounds.
What was the difference?
1 in free throw percentage. The coach told me, he said, the difference between this right here and where you was at before is when you in the JUCO and you trying to get a deal to a bigger school, he's like, you gotta do you, that way a recruiter will want you to go somewhere else. Like, you really gotta look out for you. And I'm not saying, he's like, I'm not saying be selfish, but what I'm saying is, you gotta do you.
Right.
And so this is when my confidence getting up, because I don't know shit till probably like mid-semester. This is when I meet my boy Derek Thomas, all right? Mid-semester, I don't know shit. And Coach Johnson get on Facebook and he posted like the player standings in the conference. And he showed me the website where you can check it. So after every game, it's like they calculate all the stats. And so like over the season, they show where you stand. I'm number 1. I'm number 2 next to a guy that's like getting recruited to go to these big ass D1s. This dude named Dennis Tennant. And like you can look him up. Dennis Tennant and this guy named Titus Rubles. They were playing at Independence College, JUCO. And we getting ready to play KCK, Kansas City, Kansas, JUCO. And Dennis Tennant, like I said, Dennis Tennant averaging like 30 plus. I'm averaging 25. You know, I think I'm doing something. But Coach Johnson talking shit to practice. Oh, he gonna kill you. He gonna dunk you. This. And so we play him. End of the game, we look up. I done had 32. Dennis had 30. And that's when in my head, that's when it really started clicking. Like shit, I don't give a fuck who anybody is. My boy gotta guard me. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Because I started, like I said, I was doing all right, and I ended up finishing like second spot. We didn't make playoffs. But after that, I got to Midwest State University, which was like, that was Division II NCAA.
Yeah.
And that was when it was like, fuck like a team with you playing, and it's 2 or 3 guys, and then everybody else is just kind of okay. When y'all in practice, y'all slaughtering. When I got to MSU, it was the smallest guy that can be this tall, the biggest guy, everybody the same type of athletic. You got motherfuckers that shooting and ain't missing. There's a dude from Alabama named Jermichael Rivers. That motherfucker gonna give you that bitch any way you want it. And I'm talking about, nah, for real. He was like that in practice, but he was like that in the game.
Right.
Jermichael Rivers was the cold. Him and this other dude I knew named Derek Thomas. This guy named DT, David Terrell. And he was one of the first kind of thick guys I met. He was bow-legged, bouncy as fuck. Like one of the first guys I'm seeing in person do this.
Right.
Like David Terrell was nice. It was guys there. And so, like I said, I get done with that, but like, that's when I came back home in the summer times, or I'd come home for breaks, and that's when like it get uncomfortable. That's when people start hating. That's when, cause like I said, high school I was nice, yeah. I wasn't that. You get guys now that they getting their ass served, or they getting dunked on, and they going by them and dunking and shit, and that's when it's, oh, I remember that nigga table this, that. No, he wasn't all that. That nigga ain't like that. Or he ain't doing this. Or he used to not do that. And it's like,
I see how that happens.
like, fuck then. We talking about right now. Like, even right now to this day, man, I ran into a dude yesterday in the gym. We walked in one gym. This dude that was like a senior when I was like a sophomore, junior. First thing niggas always tell me is, see, I can still beat you. Or I remember I used to, one, half of the niggas never beat me. Or we never played. And number 2, that shit was like 12 and 13 years ago. We grown now. Like, shit, I'm 30 now. So, I don't be trying to hear that, but I mean, that's what guys say. Or it'd be niggas that be like, remember when I used to dunk on you? Niggas that never dunked would tell me that. I've heard people tell me that, and it's just, people like to dwell in when they pass prime. One dude told me that. One dude told me I got it now that it don't matter. And I was like, I'm pretty sure in high school when nobody's hit their physical peak yet, or they've not accomplished nothing, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't mean that it mattered at the time. But I mean, you know, hey, whichever way it go. But, you know, my boy Drake say, fuck how it was in the past tense. Ask yourself, how do we match up now? So that's really what I try to go by. I just try to go and still play. And, I mean, after that, you know, after MSU, I got opportunities, playing in Mexico, the Globetrotters. That's when. Did
you graduate out of MSU?
I didn't finish. Came home, my son, and after me and his mom separated, that was when I met Jock, and Jock was putting me opportunities. I went to Mexico for the first time in, I think, 13 or 14. Went down there for like 2 months in one league. I left Cause I heard from the players that people were getting robbed and like kidnapped out there. It was like Nuevo Laredo, and that just shook me up.
That killed the spirit.
Came for home, and then he asked me, "Hey, you ever heard about the Globetrotters?" And like, you hear the name, and I know I had never seen the show, and I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll try it out." And so I went to a tryout for them, and I got opportunity doing that, and that was when it was like. Because a lot of things, I mean, one of the things people always tell me is, oh, well, RiTea's like, my strong point is I can dunk, I can jump. And people be like, that's just dunking, it's just 2 points in that. And at that point, it was like, shit, I'm getting a check for something motherfuckers were hating on me for, you know, say what you want to say with that. But, I mean, I enjoyed it. I seen the ins and outs of it. I met some real good guys that I'm still real good friends with. I met Michael Jackson's brother, Marlon. That shit was live. I met Jamario Moon, who was a Globetrotter. I met the first ever female Globetrotter.
How long were you a Globetrotter?
I did the Globetrotter thing for like a year, and that's separated into sections of like months. Yeah. But the shit was fun. Yeah. It was bomb. Like that shit was crazy fun.
Is it okay money? I mean, for what it is?
I don't want to speak on numbers and put people's pockets out there. The Globetrotters is solid money.
Okay.
It's solid money.
Okay.
Especially when you're living out of a suitcase and you don't have to pay for shit.
Yeah.
It's solid money.
Okay.
It taught me like the illusion of making it look like you could jump the high. Like, I'll give it props. Like, yeah, I can jump. But a lot of times when like people watch a lot of my posts where I'll be throwing the ball up and dunking and shit, and they'll be like, oh man, you're gonna high. And like the thing I learned from the Globetrotters that really helped me as far as jumping goes is just timing. Because my first time at a tryout, like at a workout, they was like, okay, let's see where all the jumpers at. Like, somebody go get this. They bounce the ball high as shit. And I'd be like, not getting that shit. But then they tell you like, hey, well, look at when it starts coming down, time it when you can go get it. And that's when, and then when you do it, and then you see how like it translates to the shows, the people in the crowd like, oh, this motherfucker is flying. That's what it looks. But then that's why I learned that part of it. But after that, man, playing these Austin tournaments, these Latin American tournaments in Austin, and I get a guy like, hey, you want to go to this job in Mexico? I'm like, cool, yeah, I'll go. And bam, the Mexico shit was so fun because I just, like I said, that was one thing where the difference between there and here was like, I mean, it ain't no secret in an honest opinion. There ain't too many motherfuckers out here. As nice as I can think I am, there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that don't think I'm that nice. There's motherfuckers that say I'm nice to my face and they don't think I'm nice when I'm not around. And it just be a lot of different shit. But you get haters wherever you go. Type of shit out there, all motherfucking love. I'm talking about I was fucking Mike Jordan out there. I know. And they separate the American dudes. So there's 10 American dudes, and they separated us. We played 2 games, team to 5. And from there, they draft you. They did like a draft, and the guys pick the team on who pick. Get drafted number 1, get paid good money. And so what they do is they take the 10 Americans, they put 2 on each team out there, and each city out there is like their team. I get out there, and my first game, I play, and we go and we check the stats. I got 60-something fucking points. And I don't think I find out that they keep track of points till like 5 or 6 games in. When they look up and they showing you the player of the month and what the score leaders are and who got what, I got like 400-something points all together in the past 5 or 6 games. Which means you putting up numbers. Because the thing I learned is too, you go somewhere else and you play. Baby, putting up 20 a night, 30 ain't gonna get it done for you. You gotta be scoring like that. So that was cool. And then my birthday fell on the All-Star weekend. And there's a guy out there named Roderick. What's his fucking dude last name? But he was from Florida. He had dreadlocks. He was about my size. He was a left-handed guy too. And he could dunk. He get dunks in the game. He get like 2 or 3 dunks in the game. But these dudes be like 2-hand dunking, 1-hand dunking in the game. I was out there doing that shit that I do out here in the playground. Like I was in the games in Mexico throwing the ball off the glass.
They love that shit.
They was loving that shit. I can show you videos where I do that shit and you hear like the whole arena just calling my name. Like the shit was some shit that I did never think was gonna happen. Not to me, it wasn't the way I had people hating on me, but that shit right there was just crazy. And so come All-Star Weekend, I said dunk contest come, and my coach, he speaks a little American, he a cool, funny dude. He was talking shit like, you gonna win the dunk contest? And I'm like, man, this shit easy. I'm talking shit to him. I'm like, this shit easy as fuck. I'm talking all this shit to him. And he's like, all right. Sure enough, win the dunk contest, get that check, get that picture, that was a bonus. And then they get this big old poster billboard of me that they let me bring home. It's at the house. That shit was just fun. I
Come
came
on.
home from that.
Okay,
of course, you
no.
gonna get haters. You gonna
Hey.
get guys that's, oh, nigga, this ain't Mexico. You doing that shit on that? Well, whichever way you want to call it. If it's that hard, we got plenty of players in the city. A lot of them are young and they're under 20. And y'all don't got kids. Y'all got responsibilities, no families. All you do is you go spend your little $250, go get your passport, put your name out there, go do what the fuck you gotta do. If it's that simple.
If it's that
'Cause
simple.
don't down what I did, just go do it for you. Because, like I said, I'm coming from a family where motherfuckers ain't graduated high school and we ain't got no athletes before us. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no real athletes that have done shit before me to say like this was how you do it. So I didn't have no groundwork to go off of. I just, like I said, I ended up falling into a place where my best friend was a kid that played every day. And the difference is, you hanging with a kid that like the same cartoon you like, that's what the fuck y'all do.
Yeah.
You hang with a kid that play basketball every fucking day, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, play
You gonna keep
basketball.
going to the park and watching him?
Yeah.
Well, you eventually gonna start playing, which is how I ended up into the shit. So, like I said, so now it's just, there's some men's leagues I play in. I'm trying to stay in shape. Hopefully, the right opportunity will come back up and I'll take off and be able to go play and make some more money. But until my body can't go no more. Another thing, I used to always hear in my 20s was wait till you my age and people was 30. Talking like 30 was prehistoric and shit. I'm in probably one of the better shapes or best shapes out of the motherfuckers that's out here. Still run and jump the way I want to. So it's gonna be what it is until God say no more.
What do you want the future to be, man? Like what if you could dream it perfect, how you wanna end it?
Oh, right now at 30?
At 30.
If I was gonna dream the future right now,
And you could dream it however you wanted to dream it.
my dream right now is for, like I said, the day when my kids come to me and they want to do the shit for real and start working on it, shit, it'll be whatever they want to do, me seeing them succeed at it. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I didn't have nobody in front of me playing, like, seriously, for me to say, damn, I want to do that because they did it for my family. Like, if I did it and I did it decently, I didn't do it at the highest level, highest peak and all that, but I did it decently. I got a decent enough name. I can say for myself, I got footage for myself, and I got people that'll be able to tell my kids, like, yo, your dad really was a bad motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean?
That shit matters.
And just a lot of times in general, I mean, you see it even with NBA players that were like, some of them were like mediocre, okay, and then their kids are like out of control. Like Michael Jordan, we thought his kids was gonna be this shit, and they wasn't. But then you got guys like Dell Curry, and I'm not saying Dell Curry was terrible, but he wasn't like this huge fucking name. And his son, one of the biggest guys in the league now.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr., he's not huge, but his dad was like hardly really known he was in the league. But you get guys. I mean, whatever comes of it, gonna come of it. So
it sounds like your biggest dream or vision for the future is in your kids.
Yeah, I just would rather them be successful with it. I mean, shit, not growing up with a daddy, you want to be a better daddy. You know what I mean?
So what did your parents do? Like you said, you had no dad, or dad wasn't around.
My grandmother raised us for a fraction of our life, majority of our life. I had time periods and things happen when I was living with my mom. Shit went sideways. And so I had a fraction of my life with my best friend, Will Franklin. I hollered at him about my situation. He said, man, come holler at my mom. I'm going to holler at my Aunt Debbie. And after that, that was where I was staying. The goal was you got to graduate high school. You got to get to college.
And how old were you?
Went like this.
This happened when I was 14 years old.
14?
I was 14.
It basically went like this. I'm going to tell it how it did. Growing up, where we grew up at, this the east side of San Antonio. There's a lot of drug activity, crime, whatever the case may be. My mom struggled with whatever situations that she went through. You feel what I'm saying? Nor his daddy, nor my daddy was around. And when my mom was going through what she went through, I became the man of the house. That's where I ventured off from, sports and all that kind of shit. You feel what I'm saying? And because I jumped out there too fast, I didn't really know the ins and outs of it. Went to the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying? Will and William's mother took, and him and his family later took me and his family. I came out. My mother still struggled. Went through whatever she went through. I tried to be the man again. Went to the penitentiary again. Here I am today. Like I was telling you earlier, life lessons. You just gotta learn from them. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you shit.
But where do y'all see yourselves, man? I know as men, we have a responsibility and we don't think of ourselves, right?
My thing,
What do
As far as
y'all?
me seeing myself?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you my
give me
biggest
10
flaw.
years, bro.
My biggest flaw in life.
Give me, what are you gonna
it's
be
gonna
doing
be
10
hard
years?
to give you an answer. You know my biggest flaw in life? I swear to God, Rodney Kadash is. I never thought about the day after the next day. Like I never thought of it. Like I knew what I wanted to do. I never in my life pictured what age I'd have kids. I never said I want to have kids at this age. I'm gonna do this. Like I was trying to get to college. I never said like, oh well, this is for sure where I'm going. This is what I'm gonna do next. I did not know. I don't know. In 10 years, I want to be alive. I want to still be able to run. I want to be healthy. And at the end of the day, like my kids will be 18 and 21. I want them to be educated, healthy, making smart decisions, and whatever the fuck they want to do, like seriously, them doing that. And it don't even have to be sports.
And then like
That's all the fuck I want. And still be living. That's it.
I spent majority of my teen and 20s in the penitentiary. You know, that's really when life, you know, gets started for a young man. You know what I'm saying? I went to the pen at 18, came out at 21, went back at 25, came out at 28. You know what I'm saying? So around that time, that's really when your life gets started as a young man. You know what I'm saying? So here I am now, I'm 32. You know, so 10 years from now, I'll be 42. So I'm really just looking at it like, man, as long as I can take care of my family and I can walk, jump, breathe, live, be free, be alive, I'm satisfied with that. If I happen to own a piece of land, so be it. You know what I'm saying? If I invest in a couple of barbershops or a couple of vending machines to put in a barbershop, I'm good with that. Because
I do that. I am always. I forgot. I do tattoo and I do haircut. People that do not know.
Yeah.
So 10 years, I might want to be a barber or permanently sit on my ass tattooing somewhere.
You know what
I don't
I mean?
know. But
And-
that's something I like to do.
If I got a bunch of money that I could put into something that he want to do and we go into business together,
I fuck around.
so be it.
Have y'all ever talked about anything like that?
Don't be talking about shit. Don't be thinking that far ahead.
Don't
I
think
don't
that
never
far
think like
ahead.
that. I need to. It's
So
bad.
would you say? Would you
One day I
say?
wake up and be like, man, bro, I got 20 racks. What you want to open up a barbershop? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, bro, you want to open up?
Yeah, like
whatever.
this way, put it this way. If we was going to do it, I put it like this. It wouldn't be announced for it happening.
Nigga, so much. Somebody told me one time that I should open like my own little spot for like sneakers, like resellers. You know what I mean? And I randomly looked it up, and Nike, the company Nike, you know, for 150 grand, they'll send you everything they got. You feel what I'm saying? And you could, you know what I'm saying?
So you have done some research for the future for yourself. Pro Drumman Jones ain't the first to mention something to inspire something.
You hear it from a lot of people who be like, what are you doing 10 years?
Yeah.
What do you see yourself? You hear it all the
Purchase your
time.
tracks
And
today.
I can say you're the first person that we actually gave like legitimate
Feedback.
to. Because when anybody else asks, you know